And we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Serhant. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I'm in New York City, and you're down in Alabama right now, right?
Yep.
Love it. I've actually never been to Alabama.
Really?
Always have wanted to come, though. I've got some family down there, and I've just never actually made it, but it's on my list.
Dude, check this out. Orange Beach is where I'm at, right on the Florida line.
Yeah.
White sandy beaches, palm trees, $1 million condos. Nobody knows about us.
What?
I'm
Really?
telling you. I'll send you some pictures, man. It's incredible. It'll blow your mind.
Send me some listings. I want to take a look at them.
Okay, yeah. And the thing is, man, it's like half the price is Destin, but the rental income is just the same.
Yeah.
It's a little hidden gem.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, send me those listings. I think that'd be really cool for me to see.
So you just got back from a vacation, I saw.
Yeah, I was in Greece. My wife and baby and her family, they're all based in, her family's based in Athens. So they're in Greece all summer. They actually come back this coming weekend. They've been there the last 8 weeks. So I just got to take them there, and then I come back and work for 4 weeks, and I take them there, come back and work for a couple of weeks, and then they come home.
Yeah. Well, man, first off, congrats on everything. You're really doing it, bro.
Trying, man. I'm not really good at sitting still and just doing one thing.
Yeah.
It almost feels like a waste of like my life, right? So I try to do as much as I can within reason. Like I'm not going to climb mountains and skydive, and like I'm not an adrenaline junkie in the way that I got to live every day as if it's my last. But like I don't want to leave anything on the table. You know, that's a big thing for me. My biggest fear is wasted potential. So I just want to do everything I possibly can that actually makes sense.
Yeah. And impact as many people as you can, it looks like.
Yeah. You know, like so many real estate agents, and not you, right? Not the people that are listening to this, but there's a lot of real estate agents out there in the world, and they're all very, very selfish, and they're self-absorbed, and they have huge egos, and, you know, they sold a property for a couple $1,000,000 and they're the greatest thing in the world, even though they didn't even bring the buyer. Another broker brought the buyer. And it's like, I have a platform that I'm very, very lucky to have. And if I can help make all real estate agents better, then it's going to remove a lot of the bullshit, you know, and a lot of the bad agents from our business in the future. And it'll just make us all better, right? Like one of the issues is a lot of real estate agents out there are very, you know, they're very inexperienced. They don't know how to manage business. They don't know how to do a lot of different things. And they kind of screw it up for everybody else. Because the barrier of entry into the real estate agent business is so low compared to like being a doctor or being an attorney, right? So the whole reason I wanted to make the course, and I think the reason it's selling so much since we put it out on Thursday, is because it's like a real sales course for real estate agents made by someone who's actually a top broker selling in one of the toughest markets in the world.
Yeah.
Whereas most sales courses are just by coaches, right? Whose business is this. Like I made this to help as many people as I possibly could.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what you know about me. I mean, I'm a single agent. I've been selling 100 properties a year since 2014, number one RE/MAX agent for RE/MAX in Alabama. And I wrote 2 books, and I'm coaching for free. It's kind of like the Gary V kind of influenced me to do this.
Yeah.
And over, you know, I'm hitting 20,000 agents in my program and growing really fast, couple hundred a day. And like my core mission is to reduce the failure rate by going against the grain of these other coaches who are talking about high pressure techniques, 1980s scripts.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to teach agents how to communicate who they are through valuing the relationships over the transactions, which is something that really drew me to you. You talk a lot about that.
Yeah, for sure. That's what it's all. There's a lot of agents out there who just kind of take the car salesman approach, and not to say that that's a bad approach. Some people need to be pushed, right? They need the hard sell, but not everybody. And I sell with my personality, and I sell with my ability to listen, and I sell with discipline far more than I sell by just pushing somebody to make an offer, to make a decision right now on the spot. But listen, it's an improv, right? Every client is different. And the one thing I wanted to do both with the book, Sell Like Serhant, and with the course was to really put out there kind of the discipline I have for the work, and the work that I do day in, day out that has nothing to do with the deals, that will eventually produce the deals. So that way you actually have something to control. because it's hard as a real estate agent to wake up every day and kind of live paycheck to paycheck, commission to commission. And you're upset if a deal doesn't close, but then you're really excited when it does close. Like that's an emotional roller coaster that I think is pretty unhealthy. So figuring out how to control your day as a business owner, which is what all real estate agents are, and focus on lead generation and focus on structure and focus on discipline makes all of us much happier and will by far produce better results in sales.
Okay. So when did you, like, I know when the turning point was for me, when I realized I was focusing on transactions and that was what really hurt me. And I had to make that transition from transactions to relationships. What was that turning point for you? Like what made you realize, or were you always relational, or were you transactional and you had to make some mistakes to realize this and change up your game plan?
Yeah, I think when I made a conscious decision to transfer over from rentals to sales, in New York, about 75% of kind of the real estate here is rental. Most agents, there's 80,000 real estate agents in New York City, I think. Most of them are just rental agents, because only 11 or 12,000 homes sell every year in New York City, which is a big number. But when you look at New York, the fact that 9 million people live here, 11 to 12,000 out of 9 million is not a lot. And it's not a lot compared to the 80,000 brokers that are here. And when I was a rental agent, it was just about the transactions. It was like, I need to rent as many apartments in the month as I possibly can. And I was just counting commissions in my head. And I was living almost kind of like a hamster, right? In a wheel. And then switching over to sales with my first sales client, I was just dropping the ball because I was just kind of looking at them just like another rental client. And it was all about setting up the appointments. Let's go see the houses. Okay, which one do you like? Do you want to put not an application? Do you want to make an offer on this? And I realized that the sale process, getting someone to buy or sell something, was far more about just listening to them and understanding where they're coming from and helping them find their investment in their dream home than about just doing the transactions. And I think I fell on my face like for a year flat. My first couple of years in the business, I made no money. I made like $9,000 my first year. I made like 50 my second year. And, even in New York City, $100,000 is very, very hard to live off of, especially if you're somebody in a business who has to entertain people. Right. So that was tough.
So you made 9,000 off rentals the first year, or you mean once you got into sales?
No, I made 9,000 off rentals, mm-hmm. 91.88, I think. And I couldn't get any sales done my first year. It just was so hard. The sales business was just so hard. And
yeah.
In part two, because I started when Lehman Brothers filed for bankruptcy. So my first year was 2009, which was, in hindsight, a pretty tricky year to get started in real estate sales when no one wanted to buy or sell real estate.
Yeah. Looking back, it was a pretty good year, though, to get started, huh?
Yeah. Great time. There was no competition.
Right.
Real estate agents around me were getting out of the business. Everyone was upset. People just weren't buying anything. So as hard as it was a good market to learn in. And so, yeah, it was definitely interesting. And now the market is, I want to say, equally as tough in New York anyway. The market the last couple of years has been really, really slow and really tough in New York. So figuring out how to kind of ebb and flow in good markets and bad markets has been a big thing for me. Yeah.
Okay. So I have a lot of New York agents to follow me. And, with the 80,000 agents, the 12,000 transactions, they got a hurdle there. What would you say to those people? Because there's a lot of them watching right now. What do you say to those agents just starting out in New York that see this huge mountain they got to climb with, 80,000 people competing with, for 12,000 transactions? How do you succeed in that environment?
The best part about sales and the best part about real estate sales, especially in cities like New York, is you can just forget about the competition. It's all who you meet today. Your number one focus all day long should just be increasing your Rolodex, right? Expanding your network and meeting more people, even if those more people are just brokers, right? Even if they're just the mailman and 4 cleaning ladies, as long as you meet a handful of people every day and you're adding them to your database and you're sending them your newsletter and you're touching base with them on social, that group will give you transactions. They will give you buyers. They will give you sellers. That becomes your warm sphere of influence. And it's really, really important. And you can do that in New York City. In New York, like, it always blows my mind when people say, I have no business and I have no clients. Like, then go to the street. Like, go out to the street, go to Starbucks, go to the deli, go introduce yourself to people, take 100 cards and don't come in until you give them out. Like when I first came to New York, I wasn't in real estate, but I couldn't afford a gym membership, and there's a really expensive gym on the Upper East Side. And I got to work out there for free in exchange for being a flyer guy. There's a 63rd and Lex, Equinox. And so I would take flyers for Equinox to get people to sign up for the gym. And I would stand on the corner of 63rd and Lex, 62nd and Park, and I would pass out flyers. And so it just sort of was normal to me when I got into real estate to do the same thing with business cards. You'd be surprised what happens when you stand out on the street or go talk to people, as long as you have no shame and you just go out there and say, what's the worst that can happen? People aren't going to buy or sell. Okay, well, great. And then I'm exactly where I started right now, and just meet new people.
No, it's pretty classic for agents to say, I'm not selling anything, and, I'm down on sales and everything else, but they're certainly not making calls or talking to anybody,
Yeah. I mean, it's like in this business, you don't have to wait for someone to tell you what to do. There's always work to do. There's always work to do. There's always.
I'm a huge component of it's totally unlimited for every agent. There's an unlimited amount of loyal clients for every single agent, more than you could ever do in your life. You could work 24/7 the rest of your life and never even scratch the surface for the work that needs to be done. Because to me, it's all about creating the relationships. If they want to buy or not, you build the relationships, you build your database.
For sure.
Like you're saying. What's your newsletter? You say, is it an email, or what kind of newsletter do you send?
I do a couple. I do one for brokers. I do one for my clients, and I do one for everyone that's a part of the course. And that just started. We did our first a couple weeks ago, and we'll do one once a month. The one for brokers in the course is, my thoughts on the market, my thoughts on what's happening in the market, interesting real estate news, because I want real estate agents to think of me when they think of real estate too. I mean, a lot of people think that $1 Million Listing basically just had my phone ringing off the hook with people wanting to buy or sell homes. And it's absolutely not true. But where it is kind of true is real estate agents around the world who watch the show, who then reach out to me because they have a referral. And that's a huge part of my business.
Right.
More so than just people who want to be on TV. It's been brokers in Arizona, brokers in Texas, brokers in Wisconsin, brokers in Spain who have a client who needs something in New York. And am I their best friend? Like, absolutely, right? We're best friends. And then my newsletter to clients is more personal. It's more about what's been going on with us, the team, what we've sold, kind of our team member of the month and all that stuff. That way, no matter what, every month I'm touching everybody I know, right? Mm-hmm. They're getting just for me. They're hearing from me. They're seeing my name in their inbox and they're deleting it. That's fine. As long as they see it, they think real estate, they delete it, boom, I'm there and I'm not forgotten.
I tell my people not to even look at the unsubscribe list or even the open rate. I mean, the open rate to me is only half the story. Then you got all the people that saw it in their inbox that didn't open it that might be interested in 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've got clients that took me 9 years to close, but it wasn't like it wasn't like I was out with them every single day for 9 years. No, I went out with them at the beginning and then they disappeared. But they never told me to stop touching base with them. They never told me to leave them alone. And so I just sent them my emails every month. Every time I saw listings that worked, I'd send them, because email's free, right? You're going to pay for it anyway in whatever service you have.
Yeah.
And 9 years later, the guy emails me back and says, oh, hey, man, sorry, I've been a little bit busy. Just lots of stuff going on in my personal life. Anyway, I'm ready to buy now. Clearly, you're still in real estate because you email me all the time with listings and your updates. But are you, right?
How frequent do you email your clients? Like what's the frequency?
Depends on who the client is. I don't have a specific, I talk about this in the course a lot. I'm not a big believer in kind of keeping your CRM as a machine, because then it's too cold, right? It's too, you put someone in the hot category and you're emailing them every day, like that's somebody. They don't need that. So I keep all of my clients organized through a couple of different apps and through Outlook, honestly. And I have my team who helps me with them. But if they're actively looking for something, I'm touching base with them every day or every other day. If they're sort of looking, it's once a week, right? Cold, then at least once, if not twice a month, right? Once a month to my newsletter, and then the other time it'll just be a touch base email about something personal for them, or with listings that I think are cool, or hey, that thing we saw 6 months ago, it just sold. Good thing we passed up on it because it sold for X. Just like little stuff like that is the way that you follow up with value.
Yeah. I do a weekly email, same email to everyone, keep it simple, scalable, efficient, easy, original content created every week. Been doing it for 12 years, built my brand with it. It's literally how I sell so many properties, because everybody knows me because of that email.
That's huge.
It is, man. 12,000 people get it, 2,500 open it up. I'm in a small town, but like 12,000 population, but we have 6.5 million visitors every year.
Crazy.
Down here to the beach. And that's where the money is, in the condos on the beach and, the tourism. Yeah. I'm telling you, you need to check it out. It's no joke.
I'm going to now.
All right. I wanted to ask you about losing deals, because you mentioned that earlier.
Oh God.
On this emotional roller coaster, and I'm completely numb to losing deals and losing clients, because the client, if they chose a different agent, that tells me that they made the choice that they thought was best for them. And that's what I should want for them. If I'm a great agent and I really care about them, then that's what I should want for them, is to do what they think's best. But I look at it a little deeper too. But what's your thoughts? Like, how do you feel when you lose, let's even say a big deal, a huge development, $100 million development, Louise got in there and got you. How do you feel about that? And then how do you react to that kind of situation?
Yeah, I go through that in the course a lot, actually, because that was a problem that I had when I was getting started even up until, 5 years ago, was that I took every loss so painfully, because I'm like everybody, you count your chickens too early.
Yeah.
So, I do a couple things now. One, I kind of have like a balls up theory to sales, where you want to have as many balls in the air as possible. And I talk about that in the course a lot as too. Like, how can you have as many clients going at any given time while controlling the chaos of doing that, so that if one ball drops, you don't even notice it. You're like, oh, all right, that dropped. Okay. I did everything I could to keep it in the air. I've worked my butt off, but that's okay. I got 9 others floating above me that look pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You wouldn't throw away all 9 deals just because one deal fell.
Yeah.
Right? People get so wrapped up into the individual deals, and they just increase their chance of failure that way.
Right.
Because success begets success. The more people you're working with, the more referrals you're going to get, the more introductions you're going to make. You just have to be able to service them. And there's only so many ways that you can personally service any one client. So that's really when I started developing my team and getting one person underneath me who could help me with certain clients. And then I got another person underneath them, then another person underneath them, and so on and so forth. And now we're about 60 strong. And I go into in my course about how to build a team and how to leverage your time and leverage your abilities and how to focus only on the work that you personally can do. And that's how you're able to present the best value to your clients. And then I also, anytime anything bad happens, whether it's I lose a deal or someone pisses me off or something happens, I always sit down and I write 2 lists. It really, really helps me. And I do this both for anxiety and everything. And I write down all the things that are good in my life right now, all the things that are good that are happening. Sometimes I'll do this on my phone if I'm in the car, or if I have a notebook, I'll do it there. And then a list of all the things that are bad, right? And it's easy to do the bad things because that's what's top of mind. Like, this guy just screwed me over. Okay, that's bad. All right, here's what's going on that's good in my life. I'm healthy. I'm not sick today. My wife is awesome. Oh, I got that listing yesterday. Totally forgot. Oh, we got an offer 2 days ago on that property. That's awesome. And like, your brain, once you force yourself to think about the good things, which your brain doesn't naturally do, because it's easier for us mentally to focus on the negative, which is why we do it, which is why you have so many negative people out there. You then look at the list and you say, oh, wow, all the good things, there's so many. There's only 2 bad things that are happening. Why would I throw away all this good stuff for these 2 bad things? That's stupid. And it helps you, right? Making those lists. It's like a physical thing with the hand and your fingers. It goes a long way.
I like that, man. I like that a lot. I also, whenever I lose a deal, I think about the future time I just got back, that I don't have to spend on that deal anymore.
Yeah.
And then I'm like overjoyed with the fact that I know business is unlimited and I can just go get 5 more deals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I get happy about that stuff.
I always we'll do, if we lose a listing or lose a buyer or something, I'll send them an orchid, right? I send them an orchid and I say, thanks so much for the time. Because life is short, and sometimes people fire you or people don't buy something and it has nothing to do with you. Most of the times it doesn't. And if it does, you probably know why you screwed up.
Yeah.
But when it doesn't, you want to put your best foot forward. You want to be the bigger person. I sent them a $20 orchid, right? Saying, good luck with the process. Let me know if you need anything in the future. And honestly, a lot of times those deals come back to me because they went with another broker. They did something else. 6 months later, they're like, hey, can we talk? You have a minute? And I'm like, oh, yeah, what happened? What happened? Oh, really? I'm going to fix it. I'm going to kiss it better. Don't worry.
Happens to me all the time. I talk about that all the time. If you handle it professional, and you're not mad at them, and you say, look, congratulate them, they're going to come back to you. A lot of times they come back because they find out the grass wasn't greener.
Yeah, always. But listen, it's the best part about being on Earth in 2019. There's almost 8 billion people on this planet. If one person doesn't want to work with you, just like you said, all right, I got new time to go find new people that do want to work with me.
Exactly.
And the other little trick I do that really, really works for me, and I've been doing it for a long time, and it'll become muscle memory, right? Anytime anything bad happens, you lose a deal, something bad happens, personally, professionally, I want you to go into your calendar, okay? Everyone's got either your Google Calendar, your Outlook calendar, or if you keep a physical calendar, go forward 30 days from today, right? Now, let's say you just lost a deal on 14 Smith Street. 30 days from today, write down in the calendar, how do you feel about 14 Smith Street? Okay. Now you'll forget about it. 30 days is going to go by. You're going to get to that day. You're going to wake up, you look at your calendar, and you're going to be like, how do I feel about 14? That's totally fine. And it's going to develop muscle memory. I'm telling you, this works.
Yeah.
You develop muscle memory for yourself where in the future, you're not going to even have to do it because you're going to remember how it felt last when you thought about that bad thing happening and it didn't even phase you. Right?
Yeah.
So it's just the only thing that changes is time. That's why they say time heals all wounds. So let's create our own time to heal wounds faster and be able to pick ourselves up and just move forward. It works. If you're listening to this, do it. I'm telling you, it's a little trick I learned and it goes a long way.
Wow. I love it, man. I love it. I mean, a lot of good stuff here. Let's talk about the course real quick. I want to get that in. Tell me why you did the course. You did it to help agents, and tell me how this course, is this good for new agents? Is this good for experienced agents? Like, give me a little taste of this.
Yeah. So the course is, it's simple, but it's very, very, very effective. And I made it because I couldn't find someone who wasn't just a teacher and a coach doing a real estate agent sales course. I know there's a couple out there by some brokers, but they all suck, to be honest.
Yeah, me.
With yours, I haven't looked at yours, but for the other ones that people charge for that I could find anyway, I didn't think were effective whatsoever. And I wanted to do one that was actually effective. Like, let's talk about literally, what do you do when you wake up, right? You're an entrepreneur. Okay. You run your own business. What do you do when you wake up? What do you do at noon? What do you do when you go to bed? What do you do when you lose a deal? How do you get clients in the first place? What should you spend your money on? How much money should you spend? How do you negotiate when you have people that are too far apart? How do you get from smaller price properties to bigger price properties? How do you go from doing a deal a month or 2 deals a month to doubling that, right? How do you build a business that can actually sustain itself when you're on vacation? Like all of those things that no one ever taught me, that I had to learn by myself through fire and bloodshed, I wanted to just pass off to everybody else. And so I did it there's 42 classes. You can watch the videos, or you can just listen to them like podcasts. And once you sign up, you get them all at once. So you can pick and choose. It was important to me. I didn't want to do anything stupid where it's like, once you pass one class, you get to the next. Like people are busy, right? We're all busy. And if we're real estate agents who are actually taking the time to better ourselves and to learn a little bit more, I want you to download it today, and I want you to open it up and say, you know what? I don't need these 10 today. I'll need those next week, but I want to listen to these 4 right now because I'm going into a meeting and these are going to help me. And it's already been working for people. The amount of feedback I've gotten is like, I can't even tell you. Like, it blows me away. Everybody's been writing back saying, like, I just got a listing from somebody that literally for the last 6 months wouldn't even talk to me. And because of what I just learned with you, they just signed a listing with me for $1.8 million. Or I just resurrected a deal from the dead based on what you taught me in chapter 10. And it's huge. And I'm glad it's working and helping people. That's all I could ever ask for. So
real quick, guys, in the description, I put a link, also ryanserhant.com/course, if you want to check that out. So is it just courses one after another? Listen to them when you want to. is it designed in kind of like an action plan format kind of deal? Is there an action plan to it, or is it just here?
A lot of people have been binging it, kind of like you would, Netflix. And it's 42 courses separated into 3 separate sections with a syllabus and with separate worksheets. And the way to do it, the way we created it and designed it, is for you to go one by one, right? Get through the first group and then go to the second group. A lot of people have been doing the worksheets and emailing them to me for review, which I think is kind of awesome. So we've been going through them. Or you can just pick and choose. Like I said, like once you're in, you just do whatever you want. There's, one guy who's been listening to one of the courses over and over and over and over and over. He emailed me. He's listened to it like 16 times since Thursday because it's all about negotiating. And that's where he has the toughest time. He doesn't know how to talk to people. He doesn't know how to close. He doesn't know how to get people off the fence. And he's like, this one course class has helped me so much, but I'm a slow learner. So I got to listen to it over and over and over. I don't even think he's listened to the rest, and he's already made more money. The course, it's only $500. So it's like, you sell one property for $300,000 and you make your money back.
you make 20 times your money back.
Yeah, depending on people's splits and stuff, I don't know how it works with every other.
Well, if you walk away with $500 off $300,000, you need to change brokerages right then.
There you go.
Cool, man. Well, that's exciting, man. Good luck to you on that. I saw your story. You just hit 1,000 people that signed up for that, so that's incredible. I know it's going to help a lot of people. Thank you. You guys check that out. I think it's well worth the investment. Also, we're going to speak at an event in November, the Hyperfast Agent Summit.
Yeah, it's going to be insane.
Over in DC. You excited about that one?
Yeah, it's going to be great, man. I love talking to brokers. I'll be in Orlando this Thursday talking to a group of brokers down there. They're my people, right? Real estate agents are my people. We're all crazy enough to get into a business with no salaries and no benefits, with no bosses, waking up every day saying, what am I gonna do today to support my family? And I love it, right? There's no ceiling whatsoever. No one's ever gonna tell us we sold too much. Let's all get ourselves to a point where we get to actually laugh at that.
I mean, you don't have to go to college. You make as much as you want, as little as you want. It's all based on what you do. I mean, to me, you set your own schedule. It's a dream. It's a dream come true. The only thing is, it's just tough to get started.
Yeah, and that's what. Listen, and I put that's all in the course. So the course is for people who don't even have their license yet, and you can get it before you get your license. It's for people who just got their license and are figuring out what to do. It's for people who have been in the business for 1 to 3 years and are kind of doing a few things, but need to really step up their game. And it's for people too who've been in the business. I've gotten a lot of great feedback from people who've been in the business longer than me, who are just like, listen, it was great to have a good refresher because you get so used to doing things the way you do. The same way top athletes go to spring training and, they're in practice all day long and they practice so they can go to that one game. Salespeople do the same thing too. The smart ones. Not everybody does, but the more you practice, it's just by default, right? The better you're going to be at anything: basketball, football, soccer, and sales.
Well, I'm glad you did it. I'm going to check it out. I think all you guys need to check out. I'm so glad that you did this. I mean, if you want to learn from the top, let's face it, man, you were killing it real estate. You killed it on TV. Now you're killing on social media. How does it really feel to be the most influential, in my opinion, person in the industry right now?
Oh man, that is a heavy question. I
mean, it's true. Who else is there?
There's a few others. I guess I do have a lot of people across all the platforms. I don't know, man. Like I just want to, it sounds so cliche, but I want to help as many people like me as possible. And the people who are like me are the people who like to work hard and the people who want to do better and just kick ass and take names, right? You want to sell more? Let's do it. And I figured it out in a tough market. And I got super lucky with the TV show a couple of years ago. So I'm going to use this platform to help people, right? And that's how I'm able to get my word out there, because people see me on TV on Thursday nights and I might as well do good with it and not just collect commission checks and go home.
Good for you, man. Good for you. Well, you got a baby girl.
Yes.
I got a baby girl on the way.
What, your first or second or?
First.
Wow, nice, man. Congrats.
November, right after the event.
There you go.
I was going to ask you, man, what advice do you have for me? Because we're living somewhat the same. I'm a full-time agent. I speak, I write, I coach. I'm YouTubing, I'm Instagramming. What advice do you have for me with the baby girl on the way?
So Zena, that's the name of my daughter. She's about 6 months old. I think everyone's going to say the same thing. Just you soak it up as much as you can. Like, she's changed so much in just 6 months. Like, she looks different and she acts different than she did 6 months ago. Like, your wife doesn't look and act different than she was 6 months ago. At least probably not, right? And it's just soaking it up as much as you can and scheduling and making the time, right? Like, and that's been important for me too. Like, you know what? Bath time until the time she goes to bed, that's my time with her. Right? I'm not going to be there at noon. I'm not going to be there at 2, but bath time, that's my time. And if you're a client, no matter how big the deal is, I don't care if it's a $10 million commission deal, I don't talk to you during bath time because Zena's dirty and she needs her dad to give her a bath and put her down. And finding time on the weekends as much as you can and structuring it. That way she gets used to it, right? And she knows, oh, this is my dad's time, and kind of putting the phone down a little bit, which I know is crazy and it's hard to do. And then when she gets a little bit older, then you both can be on the phone together. She'll help you do deals. That's my goal.
Yeah. You want her to get in real estate?
Oh man, I don't know. Happy. Whatever she wants to do. I have no idea. Right now, she really likes eating her hands and feet. If that's what
you mean just talking to you on the phone?
Mm-hmm. She's gonna see me talking on the phone the rest of her life. She's gonna wake up thinking that's what she's supposed to do. It's so weird, but it's cool, man. It's a cool experience. It makes living life like so much more worth it. Like, you wake up every day and it's like Christmas morning. It's wild.
I can tell. It looks like you're really enjoying it. I'm excited.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be great. Congrats, by the way.
Thank you. Cool. Well, now we're kind of running out of time, I guess. Give me a last, like, what's the most, what keeps you motivated? Like you're doing all this stuff. You don't have to do this.
Yeah.
You probably got enough to probably chill the rest of your life. What's your why? What's driving you, to go that next level?
Honestly, it's complete brutal fear of failure. Like, you climb up the mountain and you work so hard, and when you climb 10 feet up the mountain, if you fall backwards, you might like bruise your leg, but it's fine. You climb up and climb up and climb up. The higher you get, the harder you fall. And I'm afraid of I'm afraid of failing. I'm afraid of losing. And I just really believe that life is short. And I feel it too, just looking at the baby, right? 6 months went by in a blink of an eye. 10 years ago, I was passing out flyers for the gym on 63rd in Lexington, right? Like, that seems like it was yesterday. So it's that fear of failure, right? That pushes me, and maybe that's healthy, maybe it's not. And my daughter too, right? She's my why now, that's for sure.
Is failing just not getting to the next level? Because you're pretty far away from failure, buddy.
Yeah, but it's not getting to the next level. It's not milking, as much potential as I can. It's not squeezing
right
as much as I can. It's also falling backwards, right? It's making missteps. And I was really nervous about putting the course out there. Not that I thought it was going to ruin me, but like, in New York, people are very, very judgmental. I'm doing a real estate course. I already have people and brokers and people saying, "Oh, you're not a broker anymore, right? You're not a top broker. You're a coach now, right? You retired." I'm like, no, I didn't retire. I'm trying to take what I know and I'm trying to help people. I do it all at the same time. So it's like, but I'm okay with that. And I think it's all been good so far, but I just want to do better, man. I want to wake up and do more and do better every day. And I think that's all we can ask from ourselves and from each other.
Yeah, man. We'll leave it right there. I appreciate your time today, man.
Thank you. Yeah. Tune in, listen, ryanserhant.com/course. Go check it out. To get it, let me know your thoughts. Just email me, ryan@ryanserhant.com. And I want to know what everyone thinks. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm going to do a webinar tonight at 7:00 for anyone that has questions on the course specifically. And I'm going to talk about lead generation. You can get there through my website, ryanserhant.com, or I put a link in my Instagram bio. So if anyone else is watching this or listening, I can see it 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, man. Again, thanks for your time. Good luck with everything. Good hanging out with you for a second, and we'll do it again soon.
Okay, sounds good.
Later, man.
Yeah.